Hello, everyone, and welcome. Oh, wait, sorry.
Sorry. Hello, individuals.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 27th episode of the Poorly Planned podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
My name is Benedict. You probably know me better as BHL Hudson, here we talk movies, comics. We never talk comics. TV shows, bunch of nonsense. With me, as always, is my friend and cap-wearing buddy. I have to think of something new every time.
Schoolmate.
Yeah, I don't want to keep saying we're doing school pods because people think we don't have homes.
Like, well, we don't.
I mean, yeah, we are living in cardboard boxes currently.
Yeah, so this has become like the second home, I'd say.
Of the pod, yeah.
Of the pod, yeah.
Random classrooms that no one is using in our school.
And no one likes.
So this episode, we are going... Okay.
All right. Start. On a more serious note, guys.
So this episode, as most of you know, is actually pre-recorded. This was recorded on June 25th, 2018.
And when is this going up, BHL?
I actually have it. It's going up July 21st.
Dude, that's almost a month away.
This is a month ago. So if something terrible comes out between this
so if Tag makes tons of money.
It won't. It definitely won't. We're both on vacation right now. I'm in America. You're wherever. So...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh probably, I'm going to guess Agrabah.
Take that, Lalentia.
Are you really going to Lalentia?
No. I don't know
You're
where
so going to Bonbonland.
Oh, I love Bonbonland.
Little references for our one Danish listener.
I'm going to Legoland.
Everyone knows what Legoland. Anyway, what are we doing? So there's going to be no news, no mini reviews, no announcements. It's just going to be a topic because we can't record while we're on vacation in different countries. We probably could if we wanted to, but it's too much effort.
But we don't really like you guys.
But we're not putting a lot of effort into this.
We're not that invested.
Very good.
Wait. This is what...
Why?
This is what happens when my joke's so good.
It pops. Cages. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Freddy's crying now. So this episode, we thought we'd talk about nostalgia things because that's a good topic, right?
Well,
so yeah. Well,
you thought of it.
Yeah, I did. A lot of times, our podcast devolves into us saying, "Oh, I remember this thing from my childhood," and now this will just be a whole episode of that, so we can just get it all out there. And also, I just want to say, I definitely missed something here because I know I'll be really annoyed if I put this up and then the second after I finish, I'll be like, "Oh, I should have totally mentioned that." So we may expand on this at some point in the future, but this is just everything that could come to mind while I was writing this.
And most of these we probably share. Most of the
Hugo
ones
the Troll.
I do love Smosh Games, old PewDiePie. It's just some random guy. No.
Get to that.
And then I've got a few mental ones as well.
Mental one.
I made a mental list.
Also, sorry, I'm eating a carrot. We're not talking like things from our childhood in general, like the smell of grass or something. I don't know. We're talking movies and like TV shows and comics.
Can I just say,
no,
sound of a vacuum, not a vacuum cleaner, a hairdryer. It's just so relaxing.
Anyway, no, we're just talking entertainment-wise. Also, this is in literally no order. This is just what I could think of. So, without further ado, boom.
Oh.
Hear the pop sound effect again. Let's jump.
Pop sound effect.
And there are time codes down in the description below to everything we talk about, so you can skip around as you please. Let's jump into it. First of all, Tom and Jerry.
Oh, I do love.
You did watch Tom and Jerry when you grew up, didn't you?
I love Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Goodbye,
Tom. Yeah, no, they made a new, at some point in like the 2000s, they made new, why did you sniff the Tom and Jerry out of the air? I just hear.
Oh, that's some good Jerry.
They made some new stuff in the 2000s where it was like the animations, like, have you seen those like new movies? Normally we're not sitting this close. It's very uncomfortable. This brings you back to the first episode of the pod.
They've made movies like.
This episode is such a disaster already. Anyway.
Well, yeah, they've probably made movies. Right?
The original cartoon Tom and Jerry, like the drawing stuff from, I don't know, the 70s or something like that. That's fantastic, even though it's surprisingly violent. No, but it's like classic cartoon stuff. And also, for the record, I didn't write, we'll get more into this with the next one, but I didn't write any notes for this, I'm sorry. But this really is the poorly planned, because normally I'm more planned, but this is not planned at all. So if this is just very terrible,
you know who to blame.
I don't really have much else to say except
it's a good old
Team Jerry.
What? Really? You're hashtag Team Jerry?
I'm not on anyone's. I'm hashtag Team the Bulldog, who sometimes hunts
I
Tom.
hate the Bulldog.
Wow.
No, I'm definitely hashtag Team Tom.
Are we actually doing this? Moving on to something that I think we won't talk a lot about since we've talked so much about it before. Justice League Unlimited. Smosh. Justice League Unlimited and Justice League the cartoon.
League, yeah.
They're both perfection in my eyes. No, they're both incredible. We've talked so much about them.
I've
There's
never
not much
actually
else to
watched
say.
like the full series as such. I've watched, well, probably have, but I haven't watched it in like
in
chronological order.
Yeah. Well, the
I
thing
just found
is,
it on YouTube.
The thing is, I watched it growing up on Cartoon Network when I was like 5 or 6, like when it was actually on the air.
But it was actually good.
And then years later, I found it, like the entire show was on YouTube back in like 2012 or something, back when YouTube had very lax copyright policy and like you could just upload an entire show. And then it all got taken down, but I managed to watch like all of it then. That's where kind of my love for it came back. They took it off Netflix recently, which really sucks.
Really?
But yeah,
It was on Netflix?
American Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everything's on American Netflix.
Yeah.
The bastards.
The Inglorious Bastards. That's actually on Danish Netflix now.
That's fine.
But yeah, no, it's my favorite thing. And if we're not going too much into it now, you can just listen to other episodes or watch the mini videos I've made on it.
Trying to get us some revenue.
Yeah, exactly. Go back
If
to
you really want to hear our thoughts on this, go back and watch the first episode and then keep watching.
even though we don't make any revenue. Yeah. Hopefully that'll change. Anyway, moving on to something I know you can relate to.
Oh, dude.
Smosh Games, old PewDiePie, and it's just some random guy. Now, do you know any of these?
Did you purposely make this rhyme?
No, I didn't.
Smosh Games, PewDiePie, it's some random guy.
No, I did not, but that's incredible, actually. Thank you. I'm a genius. Do you know, how many of these do you know?
I know, like, I'm familiar with with old PewDiePie. No, I used to watch a lot of old PewDiePie as well.
Yeah, when you were like, growing up.
No, now.
Cut to you watching it as we're recording.
And I'm familiar with Smosh. Like,
Did you ever watch them?
No, not really. I've watched a few of their honest trailers, but
That's a different thing. God, you're such a YouTube failure. No wonder FDK's only at 100.
808.
Probably by the time this goes out, it'll be higher. Anyway,
That's enough about my fame.
the thing is, yeah, that was the first. I talked about this a little in my Q&A. Hashtag popular. But when that was the first thing I was introduced to YouTube through was Smosh. They have like a series called If Blank Was Real. And so it's like if movies were real and that kind of stuff. And then they had a gaming channel where they did like, Let's Plays, and there were different. There wasn't.
They did like games.
Yeah, it wasn't just them. It was also
Smosh Games. Here we'll be going through some bingo.
They probably played bingo by now. But that's a bingo. Sorry, I had to. I definitely didn't.
It's just bingo.
How? We recite the entire scene.
I'm the little man.
I was watching that this morning. Doesn't matter. Anyway, and then on the gaming channel, there's not just the two guys from Smosh, but there's also Lasercorn, Jovenshire, and Sohinky, which I know.
Say that again.
No, I don't want to because you'll make fun of it.
Lasercorn.
Because look, they cherish childhood memories. But anyway.
No, say it.
Lasercorn, Jovenshire.
Jovenshire. Sounds like Doofenshmirt's evil brother.
And Sohinky, which is his actual name, not a gamer tag.
Sohinky?
Yeah. Anyway, they look. I went back and watched some of the older.
Look, it's not great.
Look, it's not ideal. I went back and watched some of the videos from back then, and maybe it's just because I have nostalgia, but I think they're genuinely still good. I stopped watching them like 3 years ago, maybe like consistently, but hey, they're still doing stuff, so good on them. I think Anthony left Smosh recently, as one of the guys from Smosh. So
it's Anthony and Ian, right?
Yeah, and Anthony
we're
left
chill like that.
And like Lasercorn and Sohinky left Smosh Games recently. I know you were. That's the only reason you were going
Not
for
Sohinkadink.
No, but I honestly, a lot of my humor when I was like growing up came from that back when I was like 11, 12. And I really respect and like those guys. So, hey, thank you for all the memories. Also, there's a girl called Mari. I feel really bad that I forgot that, but there was, and she was great too. So no, they're all great. And if I ever met them, I'd be very, very happy because they've been some of the best parts of my childhood entertainment. And then there's also, you can speak to this, old PewDiePie.
Oh, I can.
The thing is actually, which is really weird, but I guess it's because his content has evolved. I actually, not consistently, but sometimes I still actually watch PewDiePie now. Like he makes pretty decent content now. And the thing is, yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's.
And like, if this was any other YouTube channel, I think it wouldn't be. Of course, it wouldn't be as popular. It wouldn't be as well liked. But because he's so self-aware, he's like, I got nothing to do. Let's review some memes, you know?
I feel like that's what you would do in FTK Gaming. Review some memes. But yeah, it's because, like, it started as very child, like, you know, kid-friendly Let's Plays. That's,
you know?
Yeah, no, I know. And that was great.
Are you familiar?
That was great when I was like 12. And now, you know, it's kind of evolved into more, I mean, it's still, you know, child-friendly. Well, I don't know. But you get what I mean. I used to watch, like, I don't know, he played Bully at one point in that game. I watched that. So anyway, those are just some fun memories. And then there was another YouTube channel, this is the last one I'll talk about. It's just some random guy, which was also one of the first YouTube channels I watched, where...
And what does he do?
He makes... I hate it because I know you make fun of it, even though he's like a really nice guy who makes actually very good videos.
Okay.
But he made Marvel DC videos using action figures.
Oh.
That's
very cool.
It's not like...
That is very cool.
It's...
LOL, it's not!
It's not like a children's... It's just... It was a lot of fun. He made like whole series and like storylines and stuff. It was really, really good. And there was like Deadpool versus the Green Goblin. You don't even know what I went through.
No doubt.
They were fantastic. And I still enjoy those videos.
I also watch this channel called You Always Win, or Yaw for short.
Do you just watch it for self-affirmation? Just a thumbs up the whole video.
You're great.
FDK's awesome.
You rule, sir. No, it's a gaming duo, Meatwagon22 and Guns for Hire.
You make fun of So Hinky, but you follow Meatwagon22. That's so not true.
That is. So those are great. They're very lazy in their editing because you know how most games.
Lol, suck it, Meatwagon. My childhood heroes.
22, sir. 22.
I'm sorry.
And then,
as opposed to the other 21 meat wagons.
21. Sounds like a good song.
21 meat wagons? Sounds like a terrible band.
It's only got 5 members. But you know how most gaming channels like edit like hours of gameplay into like 10 minutes or so?
Yeah. Did they just
they don't do that. They just go full on.
Kind of like old PewDiePie where he would just kind of like play a game through without editing.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
wow.
pretty much.
Yeah. I couldn't sit down and watch like 3 20-minute Let's Plays in a row, like completely uncut, just like gameplay footage. Personally, now. I guess I just don't have enough
probably
time.
not now.
Yeah.
Unless
Unless
it's Fortnite.
You sorry man. Do you actually play Fortnite?
I have it. I rarely play it.
You're just trying to sound cool now.
I don't have a lot of V-Bucks.
I don't know.
That's the in-game currency of Fortnite.
Hi, my name is Frederick. Want to go on a date sometime? I have a lot of V-Bucks. Moving on. Hugo the Troll. Do you know who this is?
Oh God, I've seen this guy before.
You don't remember this guy?
No, I have seen him. Why is he dressed like Findus? They totally copied Findus.
He totally mugged Findus. Oh yeah, is Findus one of yours?
Findus is one of them.
We'll get to that after Hugo the Troll. I just remember this one because I have no idea what he is. If he's a comic character, if he's a game character, but I remember at the
wait, go up. This might answer your question.
There's a picture of him with a giant PlayStation logo on it. But I just remember at the Danish, I guess it's kindergarten that I went to, or preschool.
I guess it was a kindergarten.
If that's what they want to call it. I think it's like counts as preschool. I'm not sure. But they had, whenever it was, like we would always go outside and play, but whenever it was raining, they would sometimes let us play on the computer. I sound like such an old man. For the record, I just want to say, we're both 16, so we're probably not super qualified to talk about nostalgia. But
well,
I mean, I think we're getting at...
Only 90s kids will remember.
That's very true. I think we're at the age where we can when we start to feel nostalgia, because I'm sure some people will be like, "Oh, you're only 16. How can you feel?" Like we had childhoods. We're
getting old.
But anyway, yeah. So I'm not trying to sound like an old man, but they let us play on the computer sometimes, and they had a Hugo the Troll game, and it was horribly terrifying. Because there's one level where you had to like dig tunnels under like a plumbing system, and if you didn't do it in time, like Hugo would drown. It was really messed up. So yeah, no, I just have very fond memories of that.
Oh, the next one.
Well, do you want to hit that Findus first?
Oh.
Do you want to hit that Findus? Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Findus fell.
I do want to... Oh, God. Wait. Pedersen and Findus. Which is...
I don't know if they have that anywhere else in the world. Is it a Danish thing?
It's a Danish thing. I think they have it in Sweden and Norway.
Oh, yeah, they do.
But it's basically this elderly farmer guy, I guess you'd call him.
Yeah.
Who we call Pedersen. who then gets a cat called Findus, and then they have the best time of their lives. There are so many books that I've read, and there's movies, there's TV shows. It's so good.
I'm sure in my childhood I've like read one of the books or seen one of the movies, but I have.
But then I repelled it.
I don't remember anything. Like I don't remember what Pedersen sounds like. I don't remember what Findus does.
And there. How can you not remember what Findus does?
Also, is it Findus or Findus?
Well, in Danish it's Findus.
Yeah.
But in English it's probably Findus.
We don't hit that Findus. We say Mads Mikkelsen. We don't say Mads Mikkelsen.
He's a cat. He's got green overalls. And
That's what he does.
And that's his character arc. There's one like a
God damn this mic.
And there's the Christmas movie. There's one very, very like terrifying part where
Findus' head explodes.
No, that's cool. Where it's basically Findus having a dream that Pedersen will leave him
for a younger woman.
There's just this really large, lumpy man who then turns out to be like made of wood. It's really scary.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah,
I mean, moving on to something that we both can have. Disney Show.
God, Disney Show.
Disney Show was the greatest thing.
Let us give you some context. Disney Show is this thing that comes on.
It translates to Disney Fun.
It's like basically this thing on the main Danish channel every Friday. DR8. DR1.
Yeah.
To those of you who don't know what DR is.
You looked at me with such hatred.
And
oh wait, yeah, I think someone's coming. All right, we're back. Freddy's having
a baby.
Okay, sorry, we had to move rooms because I hope everyone can realize how Mission Impossible we are for this pod. It's so sad, but someone knocked on the door, one of our teachers, and Freddie was like, "Get this out of here!" And I instantly just grabbed the mic and put it in the bag because no one should know that we're recording a podcast at school. To be fair, look, we're off school this month, so like this is just a safe haven we come back to
because we missed this.
Yeah, but like it's a complicated situation why we record at school, but it's mostly about Frederick's living situation.
Yo,
Disney Show. Where were we in Disney Show? Okay,
we're
explaining what it is.
Yeah,
DR8,
and it comes down from 7 till 8.
Yep,
and it gives you 2 old classic Disneys with like either Goofy, Mickey, or Donald.
Or the Chipmunks sometimes.
The Chipmunks sometimes.
What are they? They're called.
Rip Rap Rup are also there.
I was gonna say those aren't the Chipmunks.
I don't know what the Chipmunks are called. Probably
they're called Chip and Dale in English. And then in between those, they had like a long form, like a 20-minute Disney. So it would either be like it
used to be Lilo and Stitch, which I'll get into later.
Lilo and Stitch, Phineas and Ferb. They had sometimes had The Emperor's New Groove or New School. What was the other? There was one other thing that they also had. The Aladdin cartoon they sometimes had on.
They did. They also had the Tarzan sometimes.
There was a Tarzan cartoon?
Yeah, there's a whole series.
The only reason doing this is so stressful is because it's just mildly embarrassing if someone catches us recording. Anyway, so yeah, no, Disney Show has been on like at the same time, same channel for like my entire life, which is it still goes. Moving on. You can say one actually before this, because this is just going to put me to shame forever.
A game, I'll say. The game Mini Ninjas.
You talked about this before.
It's so good. It's like the first...
Can we actually... Because I don't like how you can see in the room.
Oh, wait.
Sorry, we're on the move here. We're making a transfer to different tables. Don't mind us. Oh my god, that was the worst sound I've ever heard.
So what have we done here? Why do we take a smaller table and take the end of it? God.
So yeah, what were you saying, Mini Ninjas? Before we had this horrible interruption that is entirely my fault.
Yeah, that's the first. That's the first PlayStation game I ever played. Got me hooked. You're this small ninja dude, and then there's this bad samurai warlord. You basically have to go kill him. So he transforms animals into like mindless samurai slaves.
Is it a kids game?
It is. Yeah, it is a kids game.
Okay. From the art style, I remember when I edited that pod, it looked like a kids game. Well, I don't know if I have any video games on here actually. So please bring some more video games to this if you can. Now, this is an odd one, but I made a discovery recently. Growing up, I always watched this when I was like very, very young. I watched this music video that I could not remember what it was. I remember there was a guy in it who I thought looked like Professor Snape from Harry Potter. And I remember there was like, I remember like very distinctly the shots from it, and I kind of the words, but I could not for the life of me remember what the song was. It's been haunting me all these years, and recently I discovered that music video I watched so much as a child was Rockstar by Nickelback. Then my parents disowned me.
Good. Well, like Nickelback receives a lot of hate.
Honestly,
I don't really know why.
I don't listen to Nickelback. I've never, besides this one childhood song of mine. Also, I looked at the video recently, and it's not very appropriate for children. So I don't know how I found it, but so that's just that's on the internet forever now that I watched a Nickelback music video growing up. But hey,
I met Nickelback.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't?
I did.
When?
You know how him and Avril Lavigne are? I don't know if they're still out, but they were dating.
Yeah.
And she's got the same birthday as my sister. And then we were living in Switzerland, right? And then we go to a restaurant, and then they're eating there for her birthday as well.
That's such a lie.
That's not a lie.
You would have told me by now the time you met Nickelback. You wouldn't have saved it for the pod. We're best friends.
No, we're not.
At least I thought.
I swear to God, this happened.
If I had met anyone remotely famous, I would have told you the day I met you. That's how pathetic I am.
You told me you met me. Because I'm famous. I've also shook Usher's hand.
I never washed it. Oh my God. Have I met anyone famous? We almost met Tom Holland that one time in Lübeck. When he was in the same city as us, like, oh my, most frustrating moment of my life.
That means you've like almost met mess makers.
That's very true. If you think about it.
Oh, you met the Danish astronaut.
I did. I have.
How did that feel, Joe? That was a good boy.
I have a really dorky photo of me in the first Danish man in space, which I will not show in this video.
The first Danish man in space.
Wasn't even on the moon. No, we love him. He went to our school. Well, he went to another school as well. It doesn't matter. Anyway, moving on. Fawlty Towers.
What's that?
It's a British comedy like sitcom from, I don't know, the 80s or something? 70s, yeah. And it stars, I believe it's John Cleese and a bunch of other people. And I just watched it a lot growing up with my family. I don't have much to say. It's really, it's like a classic, TV comedy. And so, yeah, that's just, I have to put that in there. Do you have anyone before we move on to this?
Yes. I've got The Treasure Planet.
Ooh. I actually haven't seen it.
Really? It's like everyone's saying it's Disney's biggest mistake.
I think that was just that one YouTube video you saw.
Really? Well, it didn't make a lot of money then.
Yeah, but definitely didn't.
That was one of my favorite kids movies of all time. That is one of my favorites.
You know who also loves it and says it's very underrated?
Mr. Sunday.
Was that a guess or did you actually know that?
I actually knew that.
What? Wow.
No, I didn't.
No.
Because you only make Sunday references.
It has Levitt as
Does
the main
it?
guy?
I don't know.
Levitt's the main guy? Oh, you only watched it in Danish,
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. But it's so good. It's the story of like Captain Flint and Long John Silver, right?
Oh. That's the fire alarm. All right, we may be kicked out of this classroom momentarily, so bear with us. Actually, I'm just going to move the snacks we have lying ominously over there. Wait, were you saying something?
Wait, who are you again? Hashtag not important.
What were you saying genuinely? Were you saying something before I went up to get the food?
Just that Treasure Planet square.
Oh yeah, Treasure Planet. Oh, you were talking. What a shame.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I heard there's a Jar Jar Binks-esque character in it.
Well,
Like an annoying robot or something?
Jar Jar Binks isn't a robot.
No, I know, but like an annoying character who injects. You think you got me now? Who in Treasure Planet is a robot.
There is, but he's not annoying. Like he's
But he's not a robot.
But like, of course, he's a little bit annoying because he's got memory loss, right? Captain Flint is dead. Like it starts out with him like raiding, but then it takes place like a few years after his death, right? And the whole thing is like you try to find his hidden treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
I'm putting this back up. Sorry. I'm really sorry about this recording. It's gonna be weird because we're in school. Let's just.
And then they meet this robot on a planet, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have my memory stick."
Okay, we're moving on.
That was the best part. And then they find his memory stick. He's like, "Ah!" And yeah.
Okay.
So
Disney.
I spat all over the screen.
No, you idiot. Disney's Three Musketeers. We talked about this recently.
Did we? We also watched this recently.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about. I mean, we talked about it recently, so there's not much to say. It's just, it's if you haven't seen it, it's the story of the Three Musketeers told through the person. What are you doing? It's the story of the Three Musketeers, but incredibly simplified and told through the perspective of It's Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, and then the villain is Stinky Pete. Is his name Stinky Pete?
I think it's just Pete.
Yeah. Well, in Danish, it's Sorteper. It's very, very good, and it's told through song by a turtle.
Never mind.
Who has no business being in the movie. No.
I love the beginning and end song.
Well, okay, yeah, but those weren't made by Disney.
Yes, they were. Shut up, Hudson.
No, I watched it a ton as a kid, mostly in Danish, so it was weird watching it in English for like the first time recently. But yeah, it's a very fun. It has some weird moments. We might do a Benefit watch someday of it. If we do couples retreat, then we have to do this.
Felt like it was a dig at me.
I feel like he's throwing shade at someone.
I can't figure out who.
But no, yeah, it's great. It's very fun and sometimes ironically funny. Do you have one?
Wait. Yes, Lilo and Stitch.
What happened to your voice there? I never liked Lilo and Stitch, I'll be honest.
You didn't like Lilo and Stitch?
Well, I haven't seen like the movie or the TV. Well, that's what you sound like when you don't like Lilo and Stitch. I never saw the movie, and the TV show. I think I disliked it only because I can feel you staring daggers at me. I only disliked it because it was on instead of Phineas and Ferb, that hurt.
So
my
you
soul.
like Lilo and Stitch better than Phineas? No, worse than Phineas and Ferb.
I thought I had it.
He's a slippery one.
But no, what do you like about Lilo and Stitch?
Well, it's just it's a good premise, right?
He's an alien, right?
Way to oversimplify it.
Well, he is.
Yeah, and then like all his experiment brothers fall down, right?
Experiment Brothers. That sounds like your band. My name is Frederick, and we're the Experiment Brothers.
Whenever they go into water, then they like turn into the actual experiment, right? So then Lilo and Stitch set out to like stop these experiments because they're usually like quite harmful, and then find like homes for them where they can be useful.
Oof.
It's wow. I see how it is. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
By far my favorite kids thing ever.
it doesn't sound like a Phineas to me. I remember there was like a big fat one who had like one eye or something. His name was Lilo.
No. There's Pleakley and Jumba.
And Oh my god.
And Jumba is a big guy, like really fat, but he's got like 8 eyes. And
He might have had 8 eyes, I
And
don't know.
Pleakley's got 1 eye. So you got the two combined.
God, I'm such a genius.
With your knowledge, you make one Jumbo and Pleakley.
Moving on though to something more important, Tintin. Did you ever read Tintin comics growing up?
Not really.
You ever watch the show?
No, I watched. Well,
The show is way worse than the comics. Well, it's basically just like the comics moving. It's like a shot-for-shot recreation almost, but I prefer the comics.
The comic book and the comic movie is like the comic, but it is moving. That's a talking to 3-year-olds. And then they put over.
Shut up!
They put over sound. Because in the books there is no sound.
Oh my god. Anyway, I read the comics, or I guess they're comics, a ton as a kid. I've read all of them. Anyway, Tintin's one of my favorite. I mean, I feel like some of this is gonna be us saying, yeah, I watched this as a kid and it was my favorite thing. But Tintin, honestly, I have a ton of nostalgia for it. And the new movie with Circus was pretty good, but it didn't capture, my heart as much as the comics did. I just hope people know that. Put that on my LinkedIn. I don't have a LinkedIn, just in case anyone's wondering.
I also don't have a girlfriend. In case anyone was wondering.
Oh my god. Moving on to something similar-ish. Kingsman. Asterix.
Oh, I love Asterix and Obelix. And Edifix.
Is Edifix their dog?
Yeah. Don't you even know that, bro? I thought you had nostalgia for this.
Look, there were the comics, obviously, and then there was what just happened. There were movies that were like animated, and then there were live action movies. And
I like both of them.
the live action movies are a little weird.
They are a little weird, but they're fun.
I think the one I remember the most watching growing up was, I've read the comics sometimes, but I haven't not like Tintin, but with the movies, there was one where they go to ancient Egypt, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Obelix eats a poisoned cake or something.
No, they have a poisoned cake. Then they give it to Cleopatra, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then her, so they don't know it's poisoned cake, right?
Right.
Then her like royal taster, is that what it's called? Spot on the money. And then he like dies. they're thrown in jail. They're like, oh, we'll come eat it. They drink the antidote. I know way too much about this.
Yeah, definitely.
and then Obelix pulls a fat meme where he's like,
he gets one piece and then he's like,
what's the druid called?
Oh, why would I know? I didn't even know
it's the druid, Asterix and Obelix, and then like, all right, Obelix cut 3 pieces. He cuts like 2 small pieces,
and then he takes the.
And then like, I said 3, 1, 2, and then he takes them. He's like, gulps it down.
Also, I love how you said Obelix pulls a fat meme, which is the worst thing anyone could ever say. Anyway, no, I watched that one a lot growing up, and I really enjoyed it. And the live action ones are a little weird. Moving on to Kingsman.
Now you can't really say this because this is really...
Now, look, some of these, like, I'm kind of wondering, like, how far you can have nostalgia for something, like, when it came out.
You have to be 8 or less.
Years?
8.
What?
You have to be 8 years old or less.
Oh, well...
Were you 8 when you watched this? I didn't think so, Hudson.
Stop yelling my name. Well, the thing is, I just put this here because I know for a fact that, like, in a few years, I will have nostalgia for it. Like, you know, the music kicks in and everything. It's just, it's fantastic. Anyway,
it is a good movie.
Moving on. Something we do actually both have. Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, I love Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, we did a whole Ben and Fred watch on that, if you want to check that out, but I don't know if there's much else to say. It's just,
all around brilliant.
It used to be, when I saw it as a kid, I think it was in the cinema actually, it was my favorite movie of all time until, I guess, the Avengers maybe, and then, you know, kind of changed from there. Yeah, no, like how the music kicks in, and I love Poe as a character. Well, and it's really, really funny, and I could recite all the lines. Yeah, I used to get so hyped up after watching that as a kid. Now I get depressed. Moving on. Oh god, we really have to go through this quickly. Okay, we have way too many here, so we're just gonna hit that speed round.
If you hit that speed round.
Indiana Jones.
I've watched 1, 2, and the one with his dad. Is that 1, 2, 3?
That's 3.
Okay.
1 and 3, perfection. Some of the best movies. 2 is pretty great, but I wouldn't say it's good.
And 4th, they're
4's
gophers.
Terrible. 4th, they're all gophers. No, yeah, fantastic. These I kind of just snuck in here. First Avenger, Guardians. Again, guess they don't count. The Peanuts.
Oh.
Charlie Brown. Or what's his name in Larry Lacris or some shit? I don't know. What's his name in Danish? I'm looking this up. Søren Brun. What?
Søren Brun?
Well, that's anticlimactic. Anyway, yeah. I watched the holiday specials growing up. You know, the Christmas special where Charlie Brown gets like the shittiest tree, and then the Halloween special where
Charlie Brown's life sounds awful.
Charlie Brown is an incredibly depressing cartoon. It's actually like everyone ends with him from memory. Like, I'm sure now they've changed it, but like the ones from, I don't know, the 50s or whatever, or 60s, he just sits there and he's like, at the end of every single one, he's like, well, this was the worst Christmas ever. And then just like the credits roll. It's like, I mean, it's delightful and it's fun, kid stuff, but it's real. Oh god, the school's collapsing again. It's really kind of depressing. And like, he always gets like picked on and whipped with a blanket, and like, and someone takes like a football out from under his legs and stuff. It's, poor Charlie Brown. But yeah, no, the Halloween special, the Thanksgiving, where I think he makes like popcorn, and I haven't watched it in a while, but like he makes jelly beans for Thanksgiving dinner and all his friends hate him. It's pretty great. So yeah, no, definitely. Do you have one?
I do. How to Train Your Dragon.
That doesn't count.
What?
You weren't 8 when you saw that?
Please?
No, yeah, you can. I grant you permission.
God, such a good movie. Everything is just spot on in that movie, I think.
The first one I saw it, and I was like, I really liked the book when I saw it. So, and it's nothing like the book. I mean, it's not. It's very, very different. I'd say, yeah, the movie's better in hindsight. But yeah, and no, it's probably like, besides Kung Fu Panda, it's probably the best thing DreamWorks has ever done. Like Shrek is, I think
Shrek is very good as well.
But I think it, I don't know, gives DreamWorks some like legitimacy when they make like the Boss Baby and that kind of stuff. You remember like, well, okay, they made How to Train Your Dragon, so that kind of gives them a pass. No, yeah, it's it is really good. I just don't have that nostalgia like you nerd. Now moving on to something exceptional, Oklahoma and Annie Get Your Gun.
I thought that was a line from it.
No, it's two musicals. They're great. That's pretty much all I have to say. I used to sing the songs when I was a kid. It's God.
How does it go?
I'm not gonna.
No, do it. No.
There's no business like show business.
There's no business like show business.
And then Oklahoma's like, you've heard the Oklahoma. It's like bum 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 bum.
Oklahoma, where the winds don't know.
Jackman was in Oklahoma.
Well,
not the movie, the play. Old Superman cartoons, the one where it's like, look up in the sky, it's a bird. So yeah, I just love those. My Cousin Vinny, one of the more bizarre ones here. Yeah, okay, how about this? I'm just gonna say we kind of breeze through the ones that there aren't a lot to say about.
Okay.
Like there are a few like just animated movies like Monsters Inc. here that I'll just, we can kind of just go
Yeah.
over. And then the ones that we have more to say about, I think we'll stick on those. Okay, so yeah, My Cousin Vinny, kind of a weird one, but it came out in like the 80s, I think, or 90s. It's Joe Pesci as like the worst lawyer in the world, and he has to help prove that his like nephews or cousins. But my nephew Vinny, it's in the title.
My auntie Vinny.
He has to prove that his cousins are innocent of this crime they didn't commit, and it's really, really fun movie. And I watched it a lot growing up. Bizarrely, I don't know why. My parents loved it.
And
so
this is not cartoon, right?
No. This is it's a rated R movie. There's a part where he
It's
just
a real movie.
that's just if you haven't seen My Cousin Vinny, watch it. It's one of my faves. Now
Next one that we both love.
I don't. I hate this.
You really don't. What?
Why
do you have nostalgia for it then?
Well, because I watched a lot of stuff as a kid that I didn't like Shark Tale, but we'll get to that. But this is Arthur og Minimoyserne.
Arthur and the Minimoys. Is that what it's called?
It's something, I believe Snoop Dogg's in it. Actually, that's my review.
Arthur and I believe Snoop Dogg's in it.
Arthur and the Invisibles?
What?
That is the worst title ever. It's directed by Luc Besson. Oh, the Valerian guy. That's terrible.
That's not good.
Wait a minute. Apache.
Wait a.
Yeah, it's no one thinks it's a good movie because it's not.
What? I really like it.
It's just
The first two are great. The last one is very like evil and destructive.
to my mind.
But like the first two, really, really good. I thought.
I haven't seen
Any of them.
pranked. This was. I'm sure I've seen all of them, but I only remember the first one. I remember
You didn't like the first one?
It's a kid, and then he gets small, and then he goes into this world of tiny people, and then like the dam is bursting or something, or maybe that's another movie. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It was weirdly unpleasant to me for some reason.
The last one is quite unpleasant, but I really like.
They go like an adventure in the grass, and they ride like a flower or something. I don't know.
You ride a flower. They ride a beetle.
I don't know. Moving on to something better, The Cat in the Hat. We talked about this in our Guilty Pleasures episode.
Is this the one with your boy Mike Myers?
This is
Mike Myers. It is Mike Myers. Is this the one?
Yes. It is the Mike Myers. Now, yeah, it's incredibly horrible. Like it is one of it is one of the worst things ever created. After you.
Oh no!
He's been pranked good. But
Stable pranked on the forehead. No one talks to me.
It's so bizarre. Well, I've seen it dozens of times, which is so weird considering movies that I haven't even seen once, like Shawshank Redemption, that kind of stuff. But I've seen Cat in the Hat at least 12 times. And it's like the Mike Myers suit looks so weird and like kind of creepy. And then there's so many weird adult jokes in it where he calls he gets hit in the face with a gardening tool and he's like, "You're a dirty hoe." and then there's a weird stereotype as their babysitter, and like they go into this horrible nightmare world, which is supposed to be like the wonderful world of the Cat in the Hat, and it's like seeping through into the real world, and that always terrified me as a kid. Alec Baldwin's in it, this like fat, repugnant, horrible person who like
So Alec Baldwin.
who like picks his belly button lint in a scene. It's horrendous. And then the Thing 1 and Thing 2 look. Anyway, I love this movie. It is, despite everything, because I watched it so many times as a kid, I can watch it now and get enjoyment out of it. Just because, even watching it now, if I hadn't seen it, I think I would enjoy it on the level just, it is so
ridiculous it is.
It's so bizarre that like this got made. Like, it's in this weird cartoon world, but it's real. Everything looks horribly fake. It's just,
But it's good.
No, it's just, it's so weird. So anyway, yeah. Speaking of which, I have actually a DVD set with Cat in the Hat on one disc, and then, I don't know why they put these together, but a series of unfortunate events on the other disc.
Is that the one with Jim
Carrey? Yeah.
Oh.
Which I used to think people hated, but apparently people like it, and I really like it too.
And now Harris is doing it, right? Your boy Neil Patrick.
Yeah, I was trying to think, what is his name? I know who it is. Yeah, he is. I don't think that's as good. But yeah, look, as someone who grew up reading the books, it does cram like a lot of the books into one movie, and that's kind of going to annoy anyone who's read the books. But I think as a movie, it does a pretty good job of adapting, like especially the tone of it. Like it's really kind of dark and depressing and sad.
So Carrey.
But it's also, it has a lot of fun elements, and Jim Carrey's, say what you will about Jim Carrey, he's actually quite fun in that movie, I think. Meryl Streep's in it briefly. It's really, really good, and I watched it probably as much as The Cat in the Hat. So yeah, check it out. Freaky Friday.
Oh, I watched this. Very good. What is her name? the mom?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis and your boy Lindsay.
Yeah. It's a remake of a Disney movie or some movie from like the 70s or something, which I've never seen. But yeah, I watched the one with Lindsay Lohan a lot.
Me too. Where they get a fortune cookie and then
they swap
their lives are swapped.
She has to go see this like horrible, like this sad man in her psychiatrist office, and she has to go on a date with this stepdad she doesn't like.
And then suddenly the freaking mom, who's Lindsay Lohan, or no.
Why do you sound drunk?
The mom,
yeah,
who in her mind is Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Then
goes on a date with some like 18-year-old.
Oh yeah.
It's really, that kind of weirded me out.
No, yeah, I remember. It's just the saying things we remember from the movie. No, yeah, it's actually quite a heartfelt and I think funny movie, even though maybe not all of it holds up. But yeah, it's one of the better body swap movies. Like Ryan Reynolds does like 50 body swap movies a year, and I think take notes from Reynolds. These we can kind of skip over. Okay, just like 5 animated movies that I have a lot of nostalgia for that I really have nothing else to say about at this point. We might do like a DreamWorks episode at some point where we'll talk more about these. And we've already done Pixar, and we might do Illumination. Anyway, just Flushed Away, Monsters Inc., Up, Madagascar, and Despicable Me.
Just quick question: is Flushed Away the one with the rat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the Jackman rat, the Jack rat.
Oh, the Jack rat.
my favorite kind of rat. I actually have quite a bit to say about Flushed Away, so maybe we should do a DreamWorks episode at some point. That would be a good one. James and the Giant Peach, the one where it's like weird live action and then it's stop motion animation, kind of weirded me out.
I like that one actually.
Yeah, it's a little weird though. The animation always kind of.
Is it kind of scary?
Me. Yeah, exactly. I mean, not intentionally, but for kids, it's a bit. Oh, by the way, I realize you haven't been talking to the mic this whole time.
Oh,
I don't know. I like Roald Dahl stuff a lot. Like I read all of his books growing up, and so this was a little. I never saw Matilda, that movie. Did I? Whoa, my life just passed before me. Yeah, but it's okay. It was just I saw it as a kid. Sorry, I hate my childhood. Sorry. Next up, one we actually watched together relatively recently. I mean, it was over a year ago, but we remember.
Was that at my place?
Yeah, we all came to your place, and
we watched Big Willie. We watched Depp do his work.
We couldn't decide. We spent. I remember seven of us spent like 30 minutes trying to decide what movie to watch, and we couldn't agree on anything. And then in the end, we were like, "What about Big Willie?"
And then they're like, "Oh my god, I love Big Willie," and they were expecting Men in Black. We're like, "Nah."
I have no idea where Big Willie is from.
That's his rapper name.
Well, William Smith's rapper name?
Like that's what he got called in Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Oh, Big Willie?
I think so.
Oh. So yeah, I know everyone says it's horrible and it's way worse than the one with Gene. What's his name? Gene
Kelly.
No, he's the tap dance guy. It's Gene Hackman. No, Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. Who is it? Gene Wilder. Sorry. Yeah, but I've never seen the original, which I know is blasphemy to some people. But the new one
is just better.
No, it certainly isn't. But I watched it a lot as a kid, and watching it recently. Look, yeah, I mean the songs, how does it go? What are you doing? Snorted something up his nose. It's like Augustus Gloop. You know the one. You know what I'm talking about.
Augustus has gluten allergies.
That was the worst parody song I've ever heard. And you sang it with such little confidence. Augustus has gluten allergies.
Sounds dumb when you say it. I fucking rock that. You just don't know art. When you hear it.
But what do you think of Johnny's portrayal?
I really like him.
It's okay. It's a little weird, and
of course it's weird.
No, but I think it's when people started to get kind of sick of Johnny Depp. But I mean, I don't love his flashbacks with his Christopher Lee dad, where he's like, "No chocolates." You remember that? And he's like big braces, and whatever.
I like that.
That was my favorite part. As a kids movie,
and it's like little Willy Wonka. A 5?
I said it's fine.
Oh,
but his mouth started frothing. A 5? Look, I enjoy it for what it is. Maybe we'll do
a movie.
Maybe we'll do a Benefit watch someday. Now, this one I think we can talk about a bit.
Oh, I love Max Pinlig.
Max Pinlig, which
translates to Max Embarrassing.
Yeah, which is an amazing Danish pun by naming the kid Max, so Maximum, and then whose last name is Embarrassing.
His name isn't.
Is his name not Max Pinlig?
No. His name is Max Pinlig.
All these years I thought his name was Max Pinlig.
No.
I've been lied to.
Papa told me.
So look, I don't remember anything specifically. I just remember it's basically think Diary of Wimpy Kid but Danish and like less terrible.
And I really like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies.
Well, actually, we can talk about those after, or we can just talk about that now.
But yeah, it's very good. There's this one scene, I think it's the third movie, where they're at a hotel, and he like walks down to the beach, and he just sees his mom holding like a nudist convention. It's very good.
Well, yeah, it's always his mom and his dad who are doing horribly embarrassing things in front of his friends, and he's like, "Oh, Dad." There were very bizarre like cutaway gags where he would be talking about his his everyday situation, and then it would cut to like some historical like event that he's talking about. He's like, in 1865. This happened, and then that relates to my current situation. That's the direct dialogue. Like, there was weird music behind it. I don't know. If you've seen Max Payne, you know what I'm talking about. Don't you, Freddy? God damn it. Well, the English version, basically, is Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Have you read the books?
I have all of them multiple times.
I haven't read, the latest two.
Well, probably. I mean, anything that came out after.
How many did they do? Like, 3?
3 movies, and then the new one, which I didn't see,
yeah,
which looks horrible. And, like, the old ones... Look,
I like them.
I hated the first one when I saw it, but the second two I really enjoyed because
Roderick Rules and Dog Days.
Yeah,
I know the song to Roderick Rules.
I know you sang it like episode 4.
Do I?
Yeah, you did. I remember someone commented, "Can we please have Freddy singing exploded diaper?" And then you did it. So I think we filled that quota forever.
Never mind. I wanted to do it now, but it's okay.
No, it's not okay. Don't. I saw Dog Days in the cinema, and I think that was the last time I kind of did anything with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So when was that?
That was the last time I was mad.
Last time I smiled. I think that was 2013. I would have been 11-ish. Looking back on them, they're probably not great, but I think you related mostly to Greg. Is that his name?
It's Greg Heffley. But no.
Don't say it like you're actually cool.
You
relate to Manny.
You relate to Rowley. No one likes.
I realize now. No, they all like him because he broke his arm, and then Greg gets really jealous and then breaks his other arm or something. I don't know.
I'm just flexing our Diary of a Wimpy Kid knowledge.
You're totally just doing that. You know who I love in those movies? Even if I hadn't seen those movies as a kid and I didn't have a lot of nostalgia, and like if they're really bad, the one person who I think I would love regardless is Steve Zahn as the dad.
Really?
The dad
he's okay.
The dad is awesome. I love the dad. He's like the best part. So yeah.
I've got one.
Sure.
Merlin, the TV show.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch that when you were 8?
I did.
Damn it.
It came out quite a long time ago, and it's just so f***ing good. Everyone should watch it. I got so, that's...
You cried. You said that multiple times, you baby.
Patriots Day.
Shut up.
Stop it, man. Yeah, that's, the most I've ever cried in, a movie or TV show.
In my life ever.
You know, in Legend, with the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
Remember, his wife?
Mm-hmm.
Her brother. And his goldfish.
I don't remember her
Frank.
brother. All right. Merlin, probably pretty good. Is it as good as
really good.
Shrek the Third? Which also contains Merlin.
Oh, I see what you did. Wait.
It does.
What?
Yep. Timberlake. He's Merlin in Shrek the Third. Oh, no, he's not Merlin. Who's Timberlake then?
Arthur?
He's Arthur, yeah. Who's Merlin then? Wait, it's someone famous. You know who's in Shrek the Third before I reveal this? It's your boy Krasinski.
As Lancelot?
Yeah, we've talked about this. Who is Merlin? Eric Idle? Okay, why are we... I hate my life. I hate this podcast. Well, yeah, anyway, Shrek the Third. Better than Merlin, I would say.
I will kill you.
Next up, the Julekalendar. Now, we have a lot of nostalgia for the Danish Christmas.
I don't have a lot of nostalgia for this one.
What, you don't?
It's okay.
Well, every year in Denmark, they have an Advent series where you know how you can get Advent calendars where you open up the boxes and stuff?
There's chocolate, or you can get one with Lotto.
Yeah, well, this one, it opens up and there's a hint to each episode every night. And then every night up until the 24th, there's an episode of a TV show. It's an interesting idea, and they make new ones each year.
Yeah.
There have been some good ones.
My favorite one is Julekalendar. You watch that one?
I think I did, actually, yeah.
It's really good.
But the one that they have on every year is a classic from probably the 60s or something. It's not from the 60s. It's from the 80s. Yeah. Called the Julekalendar, where it's about Santa crashes his sleigh, and this vampire demon comes
Isn't he called Benny?
He's called Benny, yeah. Comes to haunt these 3 elves, and it's so bizarre because...
And the elves speak like a mixture between Danish and English.
Yeah, so the elves speak like alternating between English and Danish in each sentence. It's kind of hilarious. And also, the three elves play like every character.
Do they?
And maybe with the exception of Benny. But yeah, they also play the old man, the old woman.
Nobody wants to play Benny.
With the old man, the old woman. They're also some of the elves. Like it's a very bizarre production, but it's a good fun time, and I watched it a lot. So yeah, good stuff. Shark Tale, Shrek, Winnie the Pooh, Over the Hedge, The Rescuers. There's not a lot to say here. Valhalla.
I watch a lot of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, of course. Look at you.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorites. I'm getting kind of burnt out here, and we still have another pod to record after this. So
let's speed run these.
Okay. Yeah. So there's not much to say. Okay, let's see if we can say one thing about each one. Shark Tale, terrible. I don't know why I watched it so much as a kid. Shrek, obviously.
Love Shrek.
Not much to say. Winnie the Pooh, tons. Watched it so much on VHS as a
Huffalump.
kid. It's called Heffalump.
Huffalump.
I hate you. Over the Hedge. There's Steve Carell as a squirrel, and he has like a slow-mo Quicksilver scene. It's
That
pretty good.
really scared me as a kid.
The bear?
Yeah, we went into the cinema and I started crying. We had to leave.
It was last week.
It's tomorrow that's happening.
No, I quite enjoy it. The Rescuers, it's remember the two mice? They go and save a girl from like an alligator woman. Not an alligator woman, a woman who has an alligator. It's called like Bernard and Bianca or something. And there's like this evil witch woman. She's terrifying.
Really?
No, yeah,
I don't think I've ever like fully watched it.
Really?
I know of it.
There's like a weird UN sequence at the start. Yeah, it's no, I watched that so much as a kid, and I haven't watched it recently. Valhalla, it's a weird Danish animated movie.
Oh, isn't that the one where like Odin gets fingers in his back? Or is that Thor?
I have no memory of this. Coraline, by the way, I'm just bringing now.
Oh.
Again, I'm forgetting about stuff, but yeah. We've talked about that a lot in the childhood trauma episode, but yeah, just.
That is not that's a.
By the way, you can totally hear people outside. I'm sorry about that.
That's a no-no for me.
Scary, but excellent movie for a kid. Kronk's New Groove. Honestly, even scarier. Look, The Emperor's New Groove, obviously, as well. But did I put The Emperor's New School? Okay, yeah, I'll just do the whole franchise here. The Emperor's New School, I watched it tons as a kid. It was on every...
What's the new school?
It's the TV show that was spun off from the movie.
Okay.
It was on every Monday, I think, right when I came home from school, and I watched it. And so amazing. A theme song. There was his like girlfriend Melina. She was his crush, actually. She wasn't his girlfriend. Oh. And he had Kronk there. It's very inexplicable why he had to go to school after he's the emperor, but I loved it. And Yzma's the principal.
What? Aren't Kronk and Kuzco like pretty good friends? But then Kronk also works for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's great. And then obviously I watched the movie, and I love that one. I love that movie. But I didn't watch it as much growing up as I did the direct-to-DVD sequel, Kronk's New Groove, which everyone hates. But I actually...
But I hate as well.
But I actually really like. It's about like him wanting approval from his dad, and he blows up his restaurant at one point with cheese. And then he has like flashbacks to this woman who he used to love, and then they get married or something. I don't know. I loved it more than Emperor's New Groove when I was a kid. Now, obviously, I don't, but whatever. Schoolhouse Rock. This is a thing all American kids watch pretty much. It's like little cartoon songs about like educational things for little kids. How Bill's... You've never seen the Bill? I'm just a Bill, just a Bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill. Oh, it's a long, long...
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, and they did like The Shot Heard Round the World and that kind of stuff. Oh, it's so... yeah, Schoolhouse Rock, fantastic. Dr. Seuss books, obviously. Actually, do you have one before we get into it?
I do. I've got another Danish one. Frode og alle, rødder. I don't know if you got... It's kind of like... It's a fun little premise where it's like... I realize I'm saying premise a lot. Where it's basically... three, I think it's 3 or 4 kids have like this... It's like end of the school year. And there's this parade, I think. And they basically just mess around. They make like...
Is it a book?
No, it's a movie.
Oh.
I don't know if it's a book, but it's a movie I'm talking about here, right? And then they make like caramel and they put on their shoes and they walk on the ceiling. It's all fun and games.
Sounds like some Mission Impossible.
It's very Mission Impossible.
Now, we're talking about a lot of Danish stuff here, so I hope that's mildly interesting to the listeners. Flunkerne.
The Flunks.
Yeah, which literally translates to the Flunks. They're these little aliens who they were in what was it, like different books about different stuff.
And it was kind of like a Where's Waldo kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a bit like Where's Waldo, where you have to find the Flunks, but also I remember they did different stuff. Like there were also like ones where they were characters and you had to figure out I don't know. I haven't read one in a long time, but I've read those constantly as a kid. Like they weren't really you read them. They were like little picture activity books. They made video games and stuff.
They did?
Yeah, I had a video game that I could never play because my dad got it for me, but then he didn't realize that I have a Mac and not a PC.
Flunks.
I just looked at...
Are they actually called the Flunkers?
Oh my god, I love these books so much. Yeah, and they go like through different time periods.
Oh, I love that.
They go to like football. Oh yeah. I used to get out tracing paper and I would like trace the different... Oh yeah, and they went to the movies, like there's Indiana Jones Flunk. It's pretty great. Oh man, I'm getting a lot of... I kind of want to read a Flunk book now. I guess the Avengers. I can have nostalgia for the Avengers.
No.
I saw it when I was 10.
I won't allow it.
The trailer, the movie, the music, everything about it, I just have so much nostalgia for. I'll just skip that one. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm just going to go through these and cut some out. The Office doesn't really count. And we're just going to go through like a bunch here to speed round that like we don't have a lot... sorry. So like just ones we don't have a lot to say about. Ice Age, the old Jungle Book movie, a bunch of old Disney movies.
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood.
Robin Hood would be probably at the top of my list.
Robin Hood is so good.
Yeah. God, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Some of these, I try not to do this anymore, but some of these we get kind of burnt out by the end. We start really high energy and then we just end up terrible.
I am not terrible, sir.
The water just exploded everywhere. I'll take out the Weekly Planet because I guess that shouldn't count as nostalgia, even though it's like, anyway. Moving on to something I do genuinely have a lot of nostalgia for, Cake Boss and the Next Great Baker. Have you ever seen Cake Boss?
I think so.
This is Carlos Bakery.
Never mind.
Here is the crew, Mia Familia.
You sound like you're doing the intro to How to Train Your Dragon. This is Burke. It's rough, but it's home.
I remember, so I haven't watched Cake Boss in a while, but for the better. But it's where Buddy Velastro, the cake boss, he gets, crazy cake requests at his bakery. This is Carlos Bakery. And then him and his familia, like his cousin Mauro and his sister Mary and his wife.
His familia.
Yeah. You know what a familia is. Like he has all his family and they always bullied this one little guy who...
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It is. And they're all kind of like aggressive Italian men and they bake cakes. And it's really, really good. They make crazy structures and occasionally they would drop it and occasionally they pull pranks on each other. It's pretty good. And then Next Great Baker is where the cake boss steps back and he holds a competition where a bunch of contestants compete to become a member of his familia. They win like a bunch of money and they have to do different challenges and stuff. And it's just, I still watch that occasionally. And it's not great television. Some of the drama is very contrived, like
That's why to cool myself, I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Exactly. No, but yeah, it's a fun show that I watched a lot growing up, and it's a good time. And sometimes, I've never seen season 1, so I watched that recently, just like because why not? And I realized like everyone in season 1 is incredibly unlikable. Like in the other seasons, they always have like maybe like 3 or 4 people you like.
It's reality, you say?
Yeah, it's like a reality TV show, but some of it is kind of fake. Usually there are like 3 or 4 likable people, but in season 1 there was one guy I liked, and his name was Dana, and he won, so that's good. Other American shows that I really enjoy watching, like I watched growing up and I still watch, with my family. AFV, America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, that's like You've Been Framed, right?
Yeah, but way better. Except when it used to be hosted by Tom Bergeron. I don't know who does it now, but he used to just show clips and comment over it, and like that's pretty good. And then sometimes he would like insert his face over different clips. I was like, what are you doing, Tom? But I love Tom Bergeron. And Wipeout is like not quality TV, but
I haven't watched Wipeout because I didn't really like the American commentators, but Total Wipeout.
Well, the American commentator is the best part. No. Hi, I'm John Anderson, and I'm John Henson, or whatever his name is.
And I'm John McClane.
They're both called like John Anderson or something. Anyway.
That must be confusing.
It's great.
John Anderson, you're on break.
Kill each other. For no reason.
It's unrelated to the break. One slept with the other's wife out of confusion.
And Jeopardy, obviously. I'll let you get to yours. I'm just speedrunning this stuff. Harry Potter, and then also they have these in the summer, especially they have these Harry Potter marathons in America.
Where you watch like all the movies at once.
Yeah, well, I don't watch it, but like it's on. I'm not a sad nerd or anything. Yeah, and they have like. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say there, just Harry Potter, one of my favorite franchises. Kids shows I watched growing up Arthur.
Is that the turtle?
He's not a turtle.
What's
That's
that?
Frank the turtle. Arthur's
Isn't it Franklin? Frank the turtle.
What a terrible pause there. It's this guy.
Oh my god.
He has his friends Buster and Binky.
He looks like a Buster this time.
He's Binky. That's Binky. This is Buster. Curious George is probably the one I watched the most, the cartoon with Sesame Street, obviously, as most American kids. I forgot to put Mr. Rogers here, by the way. I can't wait to watch that documentary about it, because, yeah, I love Mr. Rogers' Kid. And then that show about those dragons on PBS, I don't remember what it's called. It's like Magic Dragons go on a train or something, I don't know. And there's also one where they make words and they're superheroes. It mostly PBS shows that I watched growing up. No, I love all that. Do you have any stuff you want to just put in here?
I do. I just wanted to say Skulduggery Pleasant, the book. It's so good. It's the first long actual book I read. I was very proud. Got so much nostalgia for it now. Just read the new book that came out a few days ago. I had others, but I just forgot them.
Didn't we mention before Emil?
So anyways.
we should probably go. Emil fra Lønneberg. This other Danish thing where it's this little kid with a big hat and he gets in trouble and they always go, Emil! It's kind of like Alvin and the Chipmunks, but
Emil!
And also Astrid, what's her name? Langsokker. What's her name?
Astrid Langsokker.
What's her name?
I've got no idea.
No, you do. Pippi Longstocking. What am I talking about?
Oh, Astrid Longsocks.
Pippi Longstocking. Watched those movies a lot as a kid.
I've got one. Far to 4.
Oh yeah.
Dad to 4.
Yeah.
I love those movies. I don't like the new ones. Those are really bad.
There's a new one out every week. I find it so bizarre.
No, the guy with the bald dad and the relatively new ones, right?
Sure.
Those are great. But the most recent one, that's a new cast and everything, and those are just so bad.
They're like a billion Fawlty movies. It's like the biggest franchise in Denmark.
Yeah, there's the old ones are also there, and they're so good.
It's a comedy about a dad who has 4 kids and a grandpa and a bunch of stuff.
And then the main kid is this little guy called Little Per. Lille Per.
Yeah, and he has an elephant toy
called Bodil.
Yeah, no, I remember I watched one where there's a ghost in their attic or something. That's the one I can remember. But they're always going on wacky adventures to the countryside.
You're just watching Ghostbusters.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, no, I can understand that. I don't like it, but I can understand it. Okay, this is really weird, but TV commercials in America, because there's no substance to it, but just the way you've been to them. Have you seen TV commercials there?
Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones.
Yeah, and but I don't mean
I don't mean the good ones.
No, I mean the really generic ones, it's the Macy's Day New Year's 50% off sale. It's really weird, all right? But I remember, because I used to see them so much as a kid when I was watching the, Harry Potter marathons and stuff. Those would come on, I
thought you didn't watch those.
No!
Busted.
And the commercials come on. There's always some Macy's 50% off sale or something. And it's come into Old Navy and we got the boots or whatever. I don't know.
We got the boots.
I don't know what Old Navy sells. So yeah, no, I just got to put that out there.
I have the kind of the same thing, but with Godmorgen Danmark. I can just sit there have it in the background.
Yeah, Good Morning America also. Do you have any nostalgia for those Danish? This is a very Danish-centric episode. I'm sorry. This is going to be a little weird, but do you have any...
Denmark are playing in the World Cup, so you know.
At the moment of this recording. Any nostalgia for those, what are they called? Peter fra Lisi and, his wife.
Oh, yeah, I love those. Uffe.
Uffe, yeah.
What kind of... Not Luff.
Yeah, I was about to say, his name isn't Uffe.
Uffe is a real name, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's that one guy in the news. Anyway, there are these commercials in Denmark where... I don't even know what Lisi does.
Lisi, it's...
computers? Or, do they help with your home or something?
I think it's, general, overall thing. Like a handyman, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Peter.
Peter from Lisi.
Yeah, and it's always this old couple... Not old, middle-aged couple. One with a mustache and this woman. And then the woman always says something about how Peter from Lisi is, helping
so
her.
much better than her husband.
Yeah, or, he's doing something, and then her husband, Luffe, burns himself with some hot coffee or trips over something, and then it's call Peter, and that's it. They're
and it's really good.
They're the most famous commercials in Denmark. So yeah, those are pretty good. Just some Nintendo DS games and 3DS. Mario Kart DS, Lego Batman I think would be the main one. I played that so much as a kid. Super Mario 64, bunch of that. We can talk about favorite video games some other episode.
Oh, we should make
that would be a good
best
one.
Video. Yeah.
The Disney songs. I used to have the CD where it's called Behind the Magic or something like that, where it's a compilation of the best Disney songs, and it was I still have it, but I can't find it on like YouTube anywhere, which is kind of annoying. I thought there'd
fire drill.
I thought there'd be like oh wait. God damn it. I thought there'd be like a playlist or anything, but no, it's it's really great. Just, I mean, Disney music, everyone has nostalgia for that, I think. This one I think we can both relate to. The Barbie movies.
Yeah, I actually
So lame.
I've watched a lot of those actually.
Me too, where she has like a pet dragon.
But I've watched a lot. There's Pegasus, there's the Three Musketeers.
I did not watch the Three Musketeers one.
You watched the Pegasus one?
I think so.
They're so good.
There are a bunch of like fairy tale ones that I watched, yeah. And then Jumbo.
Now you're more into these than I am because you're a nerd. I've read a few myself.
Well, yeah, they're Disney comics basically, but they're Danish and they're in like a fat little like comic book, and like there are like 10 stories in it, and they've sold like 400. They made like 400 something, and each one like the what's it called, like the spine of the book has like a part of a drawing on it. So if you put them in order, it makes like a really big drawing. It's one of those kinds of things.
Is it only Donald Duck?
No.
Or is it
There's Mickey Mouse. There's Goofy. There's what's it called? Super Fitmule. Supermule. His name is Super.
What was that? Eureka moment. Super Fitmule. Supermule.
Isn't his name Supermule?
I've got no idea.
It's where Goofy, who in Danish is called Fitmule for some reason, becomes a superhero.
What is it? Fat mule.
I can see the gears turning in your head. Fitmule. Yeah, so that's just. But yeah, no, I love those books. This episode is going to be a little repetitive, but I hope we've spiced it up a little bit. I'm actually moved this. Phineas and Ferb, I would say probably would be
so overrated.
Number like top 5 of the most nostalgic things.
Really?
There's 104 days of summer vacation.
I'm so musically talented.
We should have planned. I'm sorry that this isn't planned. This is the poorly planned after all. But
yeah.
I'm sorry this isn't planned better.
It's such a great excuse we've got.
Exactly, but I should have written notes because I mean, Perry, Doofenshmirtz, what is there to say? I watched
Doofenshmirtz, Evil Incorporated. What's it in Danish? Doofenshmirtz owns a building.
God, yeah. No, there's just so much as a kid. Every Disney show, whenever it was on TV. Yeah, I stopped watching before the finales, but I saw the last clip where, spoiler alert, I guess.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Phineas and, what's her name? The girl who's like, what you doing? What's her name? Girl. I'm thinking of Melina, but I know that's from Cusco.
Isabella Garcia Shapiro.
Phineas.
Why is Patty the player?
Patty the player puss? What just came out of your mouth? I believe you mean Perry the platypus. What about him?
Why does he have an actor? He doesn't say anything.
He goes. Yeah, no, Phineas and Ferb, fantastic, and the songs and everything. No, yeah, I love it. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Phineas gets together with Isabella, and then they go off to college.
Really?
Do something like that. Yeah, it ends where they're old and stuff.
I got one.
Okay.
Little Einsteins. Now, have you ever watched that?
I know the theme song. I watched like one episode. It's going on a trip in a
favorite rocket
ship.
Okay,
we didn't copyright it. Shut up.
It's so good. It's such a nice theme, and like those friends, they go in their little spaceship, and it's all about the classical music. It's so good.
Nah.
You're nah.
Do you have any last ones? Because I think we're gonna.
I had one, but I forgot. So you know.
I want to find the name of this because I loved this as a kid, and
Is it the one where they're like on stage and presenting the different things?
Yeah, where Mickey hosts Disney's House of Mouse. I think.
Oh, that is that one.
Yeah, we're like the second to last one is Disney's House of Mouse, where it's like basically Mickey's hosting like the Oscars or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and
It's
then
like
they show scenes from different movies, right?
Yeah, like it's basically a clip show. But what I thought was so awesome and cool was that like they have every character from Disney there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Which is just like blew my mind as a kid. Like, look, you have Baloo and Little John sitting next to each other. No, I just thought that was the coolest thing. Hades was always the best part. I absolutely love that show. And then finally, the worst thing to end on. And I'm honestly, jokes aside, I'm genuinely kind of disappointed that you don't know what this is. Because this seems like exactly the kind of thing that you would like.
Amigo.
Wait,
search it up.
You must know this. It's this Danish game show called Amigo.
What? No.
Amigo.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty famous in Denmark.
Yeah.
The host. But they do different, like, it's not trivia. Well, some of it is trivia, but then they also do, like, you know, you have to you get hung up by like a crane and you have to like operate it with a friend after you do a math problem or something. And you get to win.
This
like
is something your parents force you to watch.
Yes.
To learn math.
And they do like at the end you get like I think it's a trivia thing, and for each question you get right, you move up like a victory place. So like the thing you get if you win. It's like you're gonna get something no matter what, but if you get like to the way top, you get like a vacation to the Maldives or something. But at the bottom it's like you get a trip to the swimming pool or something like that.
So you win either way.
Yeah, well no, but like you get eliminated. Like there are 3 people at the start, and then you gradually get eliminated. Everyone knows what I'm talking about if you're Danish.
No one knows. I've got one more. I don't quite remember what it's called, but DR has this thing, Ramasjang, right?
Yeah.
And then the circus they made.
The circus? What?
They made a circus.
No,
with like the big green monster dude.
Is this just the circus you went to? Is this just your dad?
Yeah. No, they made a circus, and I went to that actually. I didn't participate, but but yeah, that's also very nostalgic. I went there. It was just good old time.
Huh. Well, I think that I think that wraps up our nostalgia episode. Now, I'm sorry if this episode was just us. I'm sorry if this wasn't interesting. It was interesting for us, but I don't know if it was interesting to listen to. Just us like whining. Just us going on about our past lives as young men, younger than 16. But hey, and a lot of Danish things. But hey, I hope you enjoyed regardless. This is a little pre-recorded thing.
Little sneak peek into our minds.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a lot of fun to record. Little school pod, which may become more common as we go.
Oh, I hope
Just
not.
for the record, we do have homes. It's just...
We're just not on good terms with our parents.
So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you're having a great summer. I hope you're having a great July 21st.
Oh.
I mean, we're having a great June 25th right now.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. There'll be a Ben and Fred watch, I think, next week, if my calculations are correct. Yes, there will be. So look out for that. Little bananas.
Bananas.
You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson, email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. Also, just want to say, when the pod will be actually back, that didn't make any sense. When the pod will actually be back, it will be August, what is it? I think it'll be August 18th, I think will be when there'll be pods and everything until then, but when we come back with a fresh pod that's not pre-recorded.
And with all the news.
With all the news, with all what we've watched over the summer, some announcements, because some people will send fan art and that kind of stuff, so we'll talk about that August 18th when we come back. So I hope you enjoyed this pre-recorded stuff. You can find Freddie.
You can find me on YouTube at FDK Space Gaming. You can find me on Twitter at FDK_DaltSniper. And lastly, you can find me on Instagram at FDalgard.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time with a pre-recorded pod again.
That was a crisp high five. Anyways.
Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
This was recorded. Wow.
That is the worst thing you've ever subjected me to.